I can still remember the despair after the apocalypse began, clear as day. In my past life, I watched helplessly as my brothers died protecting me from the zombies' sharp claws. That feeling of powerlessness was like a sharp knife, stabbing my heart over and over. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back in time, right before the apocalypse. I pinched my arm. It hurt. This wasn't a dream. A strong sense of purpose rushed through me. This time, I would protect my brothers. I wouldn't let the tragedy happen again. That's when I noticed a lottery ticket in my hand. I had bought it on a whim in my past life. The drawing was the day before the apocalypse. Back then, I didn't care. After the world ended, I forgot all about it. I took out my phone and checked the winning numbers. When I saw that the numbers matched, I could hardly breathe. $680 million. It was like a gift from heaven for my second chance. With that money, I felt confident. I started stockpiling like crazy: water, food, supplies, anything that would be useful after the apocalypse. I rented one warehouse after another. Seeing all those supplies piled up like mountains put my mind at ease. Then one day, while I was busy gathering supplies, I accidentally touched the jade bracelet I always wear. It was an ordinary family heirloom, or so I thought. But in that moment, a strange light flashed, and the bracelet activated a spring system. When my mind entered the bracelet's world, I was stunned. There was an endless storage space that never got full, a glowing spring with special water, and rich soil that could grow anything. There were even rare magical herbs. It was the ultimate survival tool. I couldn't wait to try the spring water on some plants. The seeds sprouted as soon as they touched the ground. They grew fast and soon produced fruit. The fruit tasted amazing, and after eating it, I felt stronger and lighter. I knew that with this spring system and all my supplies, I had a better chance of surviving. But I also knew the road ahead would be dangerous. I had to prepare quickly. Time flew, and soon the day of the apocalypse arrived. The sky turned dark, like a giant black curtain had fallen. Lightning cut through the clouds, and thunder roared. My brothers and I were already safe inside our fortified base, a strong concrete bunker with defenses all around. All our supplies were stored in the spring space, ready to use. When the first scream echoed outside, my heart raced. Through the lookout point, I saw chaos in the streets. People were running everywhere, zombies were chasing them, the smell of blood filled the air. "Don't be scared, Lily. We're here," said my oldest brother, Leo, patting my shoulder. His eyes were firm. My second brother, Liam, tightened his grip on his weapon, a sharp, modified blade. I took a deep breath. "This time, we'll make it," I said. I held a handgun, ready for the zombies. We decided to stay inside for a while and observe the zombies. Through the lookout, I saw that they were slow, but there were many of them. They were attracted to sound and smell. The slightest noise would draw a crowd. "We can't stay here forever," I told my brothers. "We need to gather more supplies and find other survivors." They nodded. They knew our supplies wouldn't last forever. After some discussion, we made a plan. I would use the spring space to make special bait to lure some zombies away. Then Leo and Liam would go out to clear the area and look for supplies. I went into the spring space and made the bait using spring water and herbs. When I threw it outside, it attracted a large group of zombies. My brothers saw their chance. They opened the door and charged out. They moved quickly. Leo swung his long knife, and zombies fell one after another. But then something unexpected happened. A large zombie rushed out from a side alley and lunged at Liam. I yelled. I raised my gun and fired without hesitation. The bullet hit the zombie right in the head. Liam was safe. After a tough fight, we cleared the zombies around our base. We collected some weapons and a few supplies. Back inside, we were tired but more determined than ever. Surviving in the apocalypse was hard. Every trip outside was dangerous. One day, while we were carefully searching through the ruins of the city, we heard a faint noise from an abandoned building. My brothers and I immediately got alert. We gripped our weapons. Leo signaled us to stay quiet. He moved carefully toward the sound. When we entered the building, we couldn't believe our eyes. A man was lying asleep right in the middle of a group of zombies. How could anyone sleep so peacefully in a zombie nest? My brothers looked at each other. They were about to kill the zombies and rescue the man. Just then, the man seemed to sense something. He opened his eyes sleepily. When he saw us, he looked surprised. Then he smiled a lazy smile. He stood up slowly, waved his hands, and a powerful force burst out. The zombies around him were thrown back like invisible hands had grabbed them. They crashed everywhere. My mouth fell open. This guy had incredible power. Thanks for your concern, but I was sleeping just fine, the man said, stretching lazily. Who are you? Why are you here? My oldest brother Leo asked cautiously. My name's Jax. Nowhere is safe since the apocalypse began. I thought this place was pretty quiet, so I took a nap, Jax replied, looking completely at ease. I watched him, my mind racing. We needed strong allies. With powers like his, our chances of survival would skyrocket. I took out a candied hawthorn skewer I'd stored in my spring space and handed it to him. Here, have something to eat. Jax's eyes lit up slightly. He took it and smiled. Not bad. Jax, we're a small team trying to survive this apocalypse. With powers like yours, would you like to join us? There's food and supplies, I offered. Jax raised an eyebrow and smiled. Sure. It gets boring on my own anyway. Just like that, Jax joined our team. Little did I know that one skewer of candied fruit would make him stick to me like glue. After Jax became part of our group, our supply runs went much smoother. His powers made fighting zombies easy. And he even helped carry heavy stuff. One day, I went into the spring space like usual. I noticed the spring glowed brighter than before. Curious, I reached out and touched the water. Suddenly, a stream of information flowed into my mind. It turned out that by killing zombies and collecting their cores, I had unlocked an upgrade for the spring system. The upgraded system had new hidden features. One function could turn zombie cores into special energy. This energy could make our weapons sharper and stronger. I was so excited. I immediately took out our weapons and tried it. After some work, our ordinary blades gleamed coldly. I gave one a light swing. It sliced a nearby rock in half. Awesome! I cheered. Another feature let the spring space connect with the outside world. I could now sense where zombies were and how many there were, like having a real-time zombie map. This was incredibly useful for our missions. I told my brothers and Jax the good news. They were thrilled too. Lily, this spring system is our greatest treasure, my second brother Liam said with a smile. Seems like our chances of survival just got a lot better. Jax agreed. To make the most of the upgraded system, we made a new plan. We would use my zombie sensing ability to clear out zombie-packed areas on purpose. That way, we could gather more cores and supplies. In the following days, we carried out our plan and achieved a lot. Our weapons got even better, and our supplies grew. But as we expanded our reach, other groups started to notice us. A crisis was quietly approaching. As our team's influence grew, we attracted the attention of other forces. One group, called the Iron Blood Alliance, used their numbers to steal from other survivors. One day, while we were gathering supplies in an abandoned supermarket, a crowd suddenly burst in. Leading them was a rough-looking man with a fierce group armed with weapons. Hand over your supplies, or we'll make you regret it, the man shouted arrogantly. Leo stepped forward, fearless. We worked hard for these. Why should we give them to you? Because there are more of us. The man waved his hand, and his followers moved closer. Jax stood by my side, sneering. They think they can take our things. He gathered his power, ready to fight. Liam tightened his grip on his enhanced blade, his eyes determined. I used the spring system to sense the area, looking for weak points. The fight broke out instantly. Jax's power rushed at them like a flood, throwing some back. But there were too many. They kept coming. Leo and Liam fought up close. They moved fast, and with their better weapons, they held their own. I watched for an opening. When their leader left himself open, I raised my gun and fired. The bullet grazed his arm, and he cried out in pain. You little brat! How dare you hurt me! Enraged, he charged at me. Just then, Jax dashed forward and pinned him down with his power. Listen up. We don't want trouble, but we're not afraid of it. If you try to steal from us again, don't expect mercy. Leo shouted, seeing they were outmatched. The group left in defeat. But we knew this was only the beginning. The Iron Blood Alliance wouldn't give up. We had to prepare for bigger threats. To grow stronger, we decided to collect more zombie cores, improve our weapons, and find more survivors to join us. In this dangerous world, we had to keep getting stronger to protect what was ours. After the clash with the Iron Blood Alliance, our team grew closer and more determined to improve. During this time, my relationship with Jax began to change. Jax started sticking near me more often, looking out for me in little ways. Once, during a supply run, we ran into a group of mutated zombies. They were faster and fiercer than regular zombies. During the fight, one leaped at me. In that split second, Jax jumped in front of me without hesitation. The zombie clawed his arm, but he held it back with his power and kept me safe. Are you okay? I asked, worried about his injury. I'm fine. As long as you're not hurt, Jax said, smiling. That smile made my heart flutter. After that, I noticed my feelings for him had changed. We started chatting in our free time, sharing stories about our lives before the apocalypse. Jax always knew how to make me laugh, bringing a little warmth into this bleak world. But my brothers noticed. Leo pulled me aside one day, serious. Lily, what's going on with you and Jax? The world is dangerous enough. Be careful with matters of the heart, Liam agreed. Yeah, we don't know how Jax really feels. We don't want you getting hurt. I knew they cared, but I felt torn. I did like Jax, but the future was so uncertain. I know you're worried. I'll be careful. I won't let myself get hurt, I promised, but feelings can't always be controlled. Slowly, without realizing it, Jax and I grew closer. At the same time, the Iron Blood Alliance was plotting something bigger. A greater crisis was coming. How would we face it? True to our fears, the Iron Blood Alliance attacked again. This time, they teamed up with other smaller groups and launched a full-scale assault on our base. They led zombies to surround our base, creating a barrier of undead, while they charged from all sides. Don't panic. Stick to the defense plan. Leo yelled. We were prepared. Jax stood high on our base, using his powers to push back the enemies. I used the spring system to track their movements, guiding my brothers and teammates. Liam led a group fighting up close outside. Our enhanced weapons were a huge help. Enemies fell left and right. But there were too many, and some broke through. This isn't working. We can't hold them off much longer. Leo said, frowning. I gritted my teeth. I have an idea. I'll use the spring system to lure some zombies away and take pressure off us. It's too dangerous, Lily. Jax objected immediately. No time to argue, I said, and slipped into the spring space. Using its connection to the outside, I drew the zombies' attention elsewhere. They started moving away from the base. Seizing the chance, Jax used his powers at full strength, halting the enemy's advance. Leo and Liam led a counterattack, the air filled with shouts and clashes. The battle was intense. Everyone fought with everything they had. Jax got hurt multiple times protecting me. Seeing him wounded made my heart ache. Jax, be careful. I shouted, don't worry. I'll be fine. I'll always protect you, he yelled back. After a fierce struggle, we finally drove back the Iron Blood Alliance and their allies. But we paid a heavy price. Some teammates died, and our base was badly damaged. Looking at the wrecked base, we knew survival had become even harder. But we were more determined than ever to protect our home and each other. And through this life and death battle, my bond with Jax grew deeper. What challenges would we face next? After some time recovering, our base slowly came back to life. But we knew we couldn't last long with just what we had. So we decided to explore new areas, searching for more resources and possible shelters. During one exploration, we found an ancient ruin hidden deep in the mountains. It felt mysterious, almost magical. The entrance was sealed with a door covered in strange symbols. What is this place? It feels so mysterious, Liam said, curious. Jax stepped closer, studying the symbols. These marks seem to hold strong power. Maybe there's a secret inside. I used the spring system to check for danger but sensed none. so we decided to try opening the door. Jax used his powers to unlock the symbol's energy. After some effort, the door slowly opened, releasing a dusty, ancient smell. We carefully entered the ruin. It was dim inside, with glowing stones set in the walls. Following a hallway, we reached a large hall. In the center was a big stone platform holding a shimmering crystal orb. When I approached the orb, a stream of memory rushed into my mind. I learned the ruin was left by a powerful ability user from ancient times. The crystal orb held ways to boost abilities and powerful techniques. This is amazing. It's a huge opportunity for us, I said excitedly. We began searching the ruins for more useful items. In a hidden chamber, we discovered special weapons and equipment that seemed infused with a mysterious power, far stronger than anything we had before. But just as we were preparing to leave, we heard heavy footsteps. A group of enormous monsters, radiating dark energy, appeared before us. These creatures seemed much more powerful than any zombies or enemies we had faced before. A new battle was about to begin. Could we use the power we gained from the ruins to defeat these monsters and escape? And how would this newfound strength change our survival in the apocalypse? Facing these powerful monsters, we didn't back down. Jax attacked first, unleashing his powers at full force. A powerful wave of energy rushed toward the monsters. However, they seemed prepared. A dark shield surrounded them, easily blocking Jax's attack. These guys are tough, Jax said, frowning. Leo and Liam joined the fight quickly. They wielded the special weapons from the ruins, engaging the monsters in close combat. Sparks flew as weapons clashed with the monsters' bodies, but the creatures only staggered slightly, barely injured. I knew I had to stay calm. I closed my eyes and focused, drawing on the ability-enhancing methods from the crystal orb. A mysterious energy flowed through me, guiding me to break through my current limits. Suddenly, I felt an unprecedented power surging within me. I opened my eyes, gathered a dazzling light in my hands, and shot it toward the monsters. The light hit their shield and actually tore a hole in it. Everyone, attack this opening, I shouted. Jax understood immediately. He launched his power again, this time aiming at the gap I had created. His energy struck one of the monsters directly. The monster roared in pain, swayed, and collapsed. Leo and Liam seized the opportunity. Their special weapons inflicted heavy damage on the monsters. Other teammates joined the fight, and soon the hall echoed with the sounds of battle. Working together, we took down one monster after another. But just as victory seemed within reach, the largest monster let out a furious roar. The sound felt magically heavy, slowing our movements and making our bodies feel like lead. Oh no, it's using a special ability, I thought, alarmed. Jax gritted his teeth. We can't give up. We can defeat it. He pushed his powers to the limit once more. Not to be outdone, I released a continuous stream of energy from within. Inspired, Leo, Liam, and the others also unleashed their remaining strength. Finally, after a fierce struggle, the giant monster crashed to the ground. We had won. We successfully defeated the monsters and left the ruins safely. This expedition not only gave us powerful weapons and ability techniques but also made our team more united and coordinated in battle. However, we knew danger was everywhere in the apocalypse. Many unknown challenges still lay ahead. Back at the base, we began studying the ability techniques, hoping to improve our strength further for the even greater trials to come. After returning successfully from the ruins, we threw ourselves into researching and training with the ability techniques. The atmosphere at the base was positive. Everyone wanted to improve their skills to better face the dangers of the apocalypse. But during this brief period of peace and progress, strange things started happening. First, some of our supplies began disappearing mysteriously. At first, we thought someone had misplaced them, but as more and more items vanished, we realized something was wrong. Then, unexplained arguments broke out among some teammates, straining our once harmonious group. My brothers and I noticed something was off and began investigating secretly. During our inquiries, we found clues suggesting a hidden force was infiltrating and sabotaging our base. Their goals were unclear, but their methods were sneaky and dangerous. At the same time, we received news from outside. The Iron Blood Alliance, after our last clash, had not given up. Instead, they were recruiting other groups, apparently planning a fiercer revenge. They threatened to make us pay dearly for resisting them, facing internal and external threats at once. We felt immense pressure. But we had no choice, we had to confront them head-on. I used the spring system's special sensing ability to carefully search the base for hidden enemies. Jax led a team to strengthen our defenses against a possible attack from the Iron Blood Alliance. Leo and Liam talked separately with the arguing teammates, trying to resolve misunderstandings and stabilize the group. After some effort, we discovered that a few strangers had sneaked into the base. They had been causing chaos, stirring up conflicts, and stealing supplies. With enough evidence, we captured these traitors. Under questioning, we learned they were spies sent by the Iron Blood Alliance to weaken us before their attack. After dealing with the internal threat, we didn't let our guard down. We knew the Iron Blood Alliance's revenge could come at any time. We intensified our training with the ability techniques and made detailed plans for defense and counterattacks. At this critical moment, facing internal and external dangers, we had to stand united to survive the storm of the apocalypse and protect our hard-won home. After clearing out the spies, we knew the Iron Blood Alliance's revenge was imminent. Preparing for the coming battle, the entire base went into a state of intense readiness. Jax led a team skilled in defense to reinforce and upgrade the base walls. They used special materials from the ruins, combined with metals collected since the apocalypse, to create an impenetrable barrier. Clever traps were set along the walls. Any enemy approaching would trigger them, suffering heavy damage. I stayed busy in the spring space, using the spring of rejuvenation and rare herbs to create special potions. These could quickly heal injuries and restore stamina during battle, boosting our fighting power. I also used the spring system to deeply sense the area around our base, marking every possible attack route for our defense plans. Leo and Liam organized combat training for everyone. They designed personalized routines based on each person's abilities and skills. Every day, the base echoed with shouts and the clashing of weapons. Through intense training, everyone improved their combat skills and teamwork. We also reached out to smaller survivor groups nearby, hoping to unite against the Iron Blood Alliance. After some effort, we convinced several teams to join us, strengthening our forces. At a meeting just before the battle, we gathered to discuss our plans. Based on our intel, the Iron Blood Alliance has joined with at least 3 other groups. They have greater numbers and better weapons. But we have advantages too: a fortified base, powerful ability users, and special weapons and potions. Leo analyzed seriously. Right. And after all our training, our abilities have improved a lot. If we stand together, we can defeat them. Jax said confidently. Everyone, remember to stay calm and follow the plan during battle. Our goal isn't just to push them back, it's to destroy the Iron Blood Alliance completely, so they can never threaten us again, I told the team firmly. After the meeting, everyone returned to their posts for final preparations. Determination filled every eye. We knew this battle would decide our fate in the apocalypse. I secretly vowed to protect our base, my brothers, and every teammate. I wouldn't let tragedy strike again. Finally, the combined forces of the Iron Blood Alliance and their allies surged toward our base like a tidal wave. Their overwhelming numbers made the ground shake. Prepare for battle, Leo ordered. Alarms blared throughout the base. Jax stood atop the highest tower, his eyes sharp. He waved his hands continuously, unleashing his powers like raging waves toward the enemy. The front lines of the enemy were thrown into chaos. Many were flung back before even reaching the base. Inside the base, I closely monitored the battle through the spring system, relaying enemy movements to our team. I also threw the special potions I had made earlier. They burst near our teammates, releasing soft glows that quickly healed their wounds and restored their energy. Liam led a team of agile fighters hiding around the base. When enemies tried to break through, they emerged like ghosts, their special weapons gleaming coldly. Each strike took enemy lives. Leo coordinated our overall strategy from the command center, adjusting tactics based on the battle. Seeing their attacks stalled, the leader of the Iron Blood Alliance grew furious. He personally led a group of elites in a fierce assault on the main gate. Jax focused all his power there, engaging in an intense clash. The collision of energies created bright lights and shockwaves, making the ground tremble. During the fierce fighting, many of our teammates were injured, but no one retreated. Everyone was determined to protect our home at all costs. Suddenly, an enemy ability user broke through Jax's defense and charged toward me. "Lily, look out!" Jax yelled, trying to help. But he was locked in combat with the enemy leader and couldn't break away. Just as the ability user was about to strike me, someone jumped in front. It was Leo. He took the hit from me, coughing up blood. "Leo!" I cried. Frantic. Rage filled my heart. I channeled all my energy, activating a hidden powerful skill of the spring system. A brilliant light burst from me, spreading outward in all directions. Where the light passed, enemies fell, losing the ability to fight. In the chaos, we launched a full counterattack. Jax broke through the enemy leader's defense and struck him down. Leaderless, the enemy scattered in panic. We pursued them, defeating the Iron Blood Alliance and their allies. This epic battle cost us greatly, but it secured our place in the apocalypse. Looking at my battered but determined teammates, I knew that as long as we stood together, nothing could stop us from surviving in this world. Through this life and death struggle, our team would open a new chapter. The road ahead might still be full of challenges, but we were no longer afraid.